Everyone, welcome to the Steuben County Board of Commissioners meeting for Monday, February 3rd, 2025. First item on our agenda this morning is Deb Lewis with WIC. Good morning.
Brought my candy as usual.
Thank you.
Just want the basket back. I'm here for Steuben County WIC. We have a donation table that we've had in our office since 1992, either a table or a room. And we use that room to offer free clothing, canned goods, gloves, hats, donated items from our community. I go to church and people hand me boxes and bags. I come home from work, there are boxes in my driveway. People have donated strollers, baby bathtubs, etc. for families. I have a family who makes car seat covers and vert covers for us. Floss, Prairie Heights FFA donates plants every year. I have a woman who donates soaps, toothbrushes. I personally clean at home, throw things in a bag and put them out on these free tables for people to take. WIC had an audit in September and asked about our donation room, and WIC will not pay rent or space costs for a donation room. The donation room cannot be part of WIC funding. I challenged the decision. Finally, in December, I was told shut her down. It was not an option. So I closed our donation room and it's now an office for somebody to use 6 hours a week. I talked to Kelly and this is a huge asset to the community. I have families, I'm on Facebook, families have a fire and I go, hey, come see us. I had someone recently who had like 20 brand new coats they bought and donated and said, Kelly, what do I do with these? So we put them out, people took them. I have books up there from Fremont Library and Prairie Heights Elementary School right now. Free, take them. My question to you is, I'd like to continue it in our storage room. But we use our storage room currently for Well Child Clinic, for county employees to pump during their lunch breaks. And Well Child stores has storage and I have storage. It could be open during WIC hours. We'll kind of keep an eye on it. However, WIC cannot pay rent for that storage, for that space, if it is used for donations. So that is my question, if we could allow our storage room to be a donation room.
Is there a problem?
No, is there a problem with that at all?
Motion. Make motion.
Second.
Further discussion?
I would like to change the name to the community donation room, and because it cannot be labeled WIC anymore.
Oh, that's fine. All in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Adjust my red and I will open it today.
We'll take care of it.
Okay, I will open it as I return. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. Thank you.
Morning, Jody.
Good morning. We just had a few things on the agenda this morning. I prepared the updated year-end experience report. So I've got just the dashboard relative to the stop loss to review. We want to talk about wellness and the launch of that program and consider premium differentials. And then I wanted to get a stop loss addendum or rider signed relative to the finalized stop loss. I think there had been questions, there should be three, Kelly, questions about the rider. So look, you want to start with that?
Can you pass them out for me?
Yeah, would you?
I will.
Grab this. Okay, so there was a addendum to the stop loss that we just needed signed. And it was really just outlining a couple of the features of the stop loss contract. One indicating that we have a transplant rider on the plan, so if we had a transplant that incurred under the plan, it wouldn't fall under stop loss and be funded by the county, it would be paid by the HCC stop loss rider. That's just the stop loss carrier identifying that the rider's in place, which in fact is in place and is part of your program. The other two were relative to additional risk for the plan. One individual was terminated or ended their coverage with the plan 12/31, and it's just indicating if any additional claims incurred in 2025, that it would either flip to Medicare being primary, which would have been the case had that person remained on the plan, or the plan wouldn't cover for those particular claims incurred in 2025. There's still claims out there for 2024. There's still coverage provided. It's just outlining 2025, anything incurred would have either been Medicare Prime or not covered. And again, that coverage on that individual ended 12/31/2024. The third bullet point identified there, again, is just indicating that that person is no longer insured on the plan and that person has been off the plan since 2020.
Any questions regarding that rider? Approve the rider. Approve.
Okay.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Let's look at the experience report. That there's three of them. There's three different pages there.
Jody,
Yeah,
46, 71, and what?
42.
I only have one page that says 42.
Looking at the claims experience, this is year end for 2024. So you'll see a full year compared to the full year of 2023 and 2022.
They were identical.
You're good. It was confusing. My
It's kind of like, you said they were different, but
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the difference.
So on the stop loss dashboard, the expected claims for 2024 was $3,282,000, which was down 3% from 2023. Where we ended the year and performed was at $2,941,561, which ended at an average of $12,425 per employee per year, relative to the 2023, which was $13,620. So we were down relative to claims applying towards the aggregate stop loss contract by 8.8%. We ended the year at 89.6% of the expected claims cost towards the aggregate, which was $340,489 under expected cost. We averaged 237 employees on the plan, which has been consistent for the last 2 years. If we look at the large claimant information, we had 19 individuals over 40,000, which is at half of our individual specific level of 80, which represented $2,310,000 of those claims. We had 8 individuals exceeding the 80,000 stop loss. Prior year, we had 10. And stop loss reimbursements was down significantly at 411,761 compared to the prior year stop loss reimbursements of over $1 million, which will help us as we continue to move forward. If we have another year under expected stop loss, will help us as we market our stop loss coverage to secure for 2026. Any questions on the experience dashboard? Okay. All right, right, so we launched the wellness component for the population health with WellWorks, as was previously approved. That's been launched in employees' hands starting January 1. Well, our next step for that is to determine what the premium differential will be for those individuals who elect not to get their individual physician office visits and preventive services. The 3 different pages you have in front of you are showing 3 different possible scenarios. How we build this scenario is taking, at the top, you can see the total monthly premium, which is the amount of the expected cost, including stop loss claims, all activity within the plan on an individual single employee basis, which is $1,022.75. Looking down at the calculated contribution threshold, what we have the ability to do is pass along an additional 30% of that, which would be $306.83 a month. What we've shown at the proposed contributions is, again, a couple of different scenarios. We simply took one, which is doubling the current amount. The current amount on a single employee is $10.50 per pay, or $21 per pay period. So we showed one analogy of taking that $21 and doubling it to 42. So those are the numbers you see there in blue. We took one analogy of just simply adding $25 to that, which makes it 46. And then we took one analogy taking the $21 to $71. Which would be changing it by $50 per month. The thought behind the $50 per month is our population health team within USI has found that you really need to have about a $600 annual difference to get employees' behaviors to change and to go through the process of what we're asking them to do. It's up to us, however, to determine where we're comfortable setting that differential. At the bottom, we just tested to make sure we have no issue with what we do relative to the Affordable Care Act affordability, which we're far from that. The affordability threshold is $241.79 a month. So our next step really is to determine where we would like to place that premium differential and get the communication out to employees so they understand what the opportunity is if they do go through the process and get that annual exam. You can also see the total percentage overall, like for instance, the $42 is a total of 2.05% of the total cost of the $1,000. Going to 71 or the additional 50 would be a total of 4.89%.
Push on one.
Should call it the 50, $21.
21 to 71.
Yeah.
Second. Okay, is there any further discussion on it?
Bring that, gets you the best buy-in for employees.
So this is, if they don't go through the,
They do not go through the process of getting their annual routine exam and basic labs, then their cost would be $71 a month as opposed to 21.
Starting in 2026.
Starting in 2026, exactly right, Andy.
Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Zero. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
That's what I had this morning. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, it's 9:15, we're going to recess the meeting to go into a public hearing. We have ordinance number 1037. Okay, I'll open the public hearing at this time for ordinance 1037, which is an ordinance designation of an infrastructure development zone for broadband service. Do I need to read the entire?
No, for the opportunity for people to speak, I think we have one.
Question.
I'm answering questions.
First of all, I was going to say, first on our agenda, I guess for this is Isaac. Do you have anything to say towards it?
Only that I continue to support this effort. Again, it was a kind of a overlook of a previous process when we went to the broadband piece. It continues to put encouragement for utility companies that are offering fiber to the homes. Incentives to do that, particularly in the unincorporated areas in our county where it's probably needed the most.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards this ordinance? It appears that there's no one that wants to speak either aye or against that ordinance. Okay, I would entertain a motion for the acceptance or denial of motion or ordinance 1037.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance 1037.
Second that.
I think is implied that the public hearing is closed, correct?
It does.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion regarding it? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
It's 3-0. Can we do second and third, or do we have to,
You could suspend the rules if it's unanimous, yes.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
okay, have a motion and a second to suspend the rules, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion for second and third readings?
Make a motion for second and third reading.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
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 Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. CQB.
Now we still need to do that. The letter of,
Morning, RJ.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Approve road name.
Am I good? Good morning, Auditor.
Good morning, Sheriff. How are you?
Good. Attorney Stuckey, you were looking quite well this morning, I must say.
Oh, is the news over here?
Glasses. Okay, good, you got. Youth always look better. You got to be.
Over there, Abby.
Oh,
talking about, yep.
oh.
I don't know if that matters. I don't have to detail like that, so. I heard it, I thought I had it, so. I see it.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. The first thing that I have is the approval of Pauley Jail proposal for $73.94 for 4 floor benches. This is, you remember when we built the courthouse, they forgot to put seating in the jail cells on the floor. So it's been a number of months ago, 8 or 9, we ordered 9 benches and 3 stools from the attorney visitation rooms. They've installed those, but we're short as far as needing more. So a 6-foot bench, in theory, sounds like a pretty good sized bench. And so me and one of the commissioners here may try to sit on it together. It turns out we're gonna need a 6-foot bench because it's 6 foot, but we got some big boys, I guess. So we need some more, sorry. This is the additional, this would be the 4 that we're asking for. If we could please have approval to install 4 more benches and 4 the south. That would be a single 6-foot and 4 of the rooms.
So the added cost is for the heavy reinforced due to the extra size?
You mean the difference from the old bill to this one?
Yeah.
So the added cost is, so as it was explained, because we did go back and forth and I included the auditor on the emails, Pauley Jail was under a contract price through Wygan while the construction was active. They gave us that pricing on that initial order. Now we're under just
Buying it.
buying them.
Free market.
We are no longer under that cap or restriction.
I just thought you had to have them reinforced with extra weight.
Well, yeah, they're reinforced, yeah. That is a good point, yeah.
So I did reach out to them because I was having a heart attack. I saw that bill come in compared to the other one. And their markup, or whatever you want to call it, is 30%. I did get her in an email, I think, were you copied on it, RJ? I think
Yeah.
where she said that they would be willing to go down to 20%. Right now, the invoice or the proposal that's being presented is still at 30 until we can get, or the sheriff can get approval from you guys, and then we can get them down 20%, down to 20%, but that's as low as she would go unless you or Grant can get them lower.
No, I called her on the phone, I
Yeah.
tried doing the same thing. But yeah,
That's. We need them, for what they are, that's a little expensive, yes, but, they're needed, so, I would move to approve. And, out of the bond.
I'll second.
Are you approving at the 20%?
Being it for 20%, then yeah.
Yep, okay.
Not gonna- At the lowest cost we can.
At the
do that.
lowest cost we can get them?
I don't think we want to pay the higher price just because we can.
Yeah.
No.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
next item is the Clear Lake Tower. We had some generator repairs. I was here a month or 2 ago for a larger amount for that tower site. This 1181 was missed on their initial response. This is the cost of their initial response when the alarms were going off. They did not include it in that last price, so they're asking us now to cover that. This should have been included in that price that I came to a couple months ago. They forgot to bill us apparently for it. Coming out of the contract line item.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye. Aye.
The next item is 2820 for a total request for 24 portable batteries. That's for the Hamilton school system. These funds are requested out of a school radio fund that each year, twice a year, each school system pays into based on their size. And I was not here for the original inception of this. There's quite a bit of funds in there. I think it's a future conversation we should have as far as how we want this to roll out. So right now, if the school system has a request, we just fulfill it. Or I come before you to take out, as you can see, there's quite a bit of funds in there, but it won't take long at $5,000 a radio if we were to upgrade the system or change something for that to be gobbled up real quick out of these schools. So we just buy it currently. I don't know what the original implementation was of this line. I'm not sure what that, I'm assuming effectively to do what we're doing today. But I don't know to take anything out of it. I almost assume that this was started to create a fund so that if there was an update or an upgrade, which we know would be happening in 20 years or so, if there was one, the funds would be there so that it would be easier on the schools. Right now, we use it as if you need something, let us know. We buy a radio, we buy batteries. We have had a few schools ask for extra radios, which we've asked respectfully that we don't do that, that if there's something they need, we just replace as they need and not to put something on the shelf. Been very easy conversations to have because I think we all are not understanding at the end of the day what we want to do with that. So just food for thought there. There's plenty of money in there, $2,800. Hamilton needs 24 batteries, so I think that's a good request, so just ask them.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
If we ever get some free time, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
None in favor, signify with aye.
And lastly is the request for a camera out of our accident fund, the accident team. Just a handheld. That is the same camera that we have another one of. They're asking for another one.
These are all digital SIM cards. so,
Yeah. Yep.
I did check with Kelly and they do have an account with Amazon, so they can purchase that non-taxable. That's the one thing that we do worry about when they're ordering from Amazon. They are set on that.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about something else.
Oh.
Yes, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye. On that Amazon, Kelly.
Yeah.
Remind me to discuss that because there's more discussion gonna happen tomorrow at AIC.
Okay.
So I think AIC is going to with Amazon.
Okay.
And lastly, did you want to bring this up, Kelly?
Is it the difference in the,
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna say Abby had it there. Go ahead.
Originally, when we came in and asked for the benches, stools on the first order to actually get them implemented, for whatever reason, and I'm not real sure just yet why, but we approved $4,665, and that's just the material costs of the benches and stools. We received a bill for $95.15, being the total, including labor and installation costs. So we have a difference from our first bill, which took us about 8 months to even get the benches. This is why we're so out of whack here. I'm not sure where we got crossed. I don't even know what was originally submitted by Wygan on these benches and stuff. But Paulie Jail is asking for the difference if we could get that invoice paid. We haven't paid it at all though, right, Kelly?
Not yet.
So really we're asking for $95.15 versus originally we only approved $4,600. So
So the 4665 was just the benches and the stools and the freight.
yeah,
When we got their invoice, it included, what's the rest of that?
okay.
Labor and overhead, yep. Because they come and install them, is that correct, Sheriff?
Yeah, yep.
So this was
So
set up by Wygan, but Wygan was responsible for the payment.
yeah. I guess that's the best way to say it. Initially, somehow it got missed, these benches and stools, it just got missed. And once everything was completed and we did the final walkthrough, the question was raised, what do we do with the inmates? And we put them in these rooms. And so that's how we realized, Commissioner Laughlin was on that walk, that we needed to order these. No responsibility was taken by anyone. It was just Grant with Wygan made communication with Paulie jail who was already had the other portion of the facility. And this was put together. I think if you see on here, the question, the invoice they sent us included that highlighted number of 4, which is what we approved. And then under it was the labor and the general totaling the 90, but we only approved the 4665 at the time. And that was the original cost, was the 95. I didn't bring a copy. I thought everybody had one. Sorry.
But Pauly Jail is the one that did all the installs.
Yeah, Pauly Jail did everything. Oh, you have it? Good. Yeah. So instead of us,
The additional 4850.
these benches appear to be very expensive. Must be a special metal or something.
Well, they're designed to be,
Yeah,
put in a jail cell, so yeah, they are,
they're definitely styled.
yeah. Consider 4850.
I was gonna say 4,850 is the difference. That would be all you need approval for is the additional, right?
That's all we need approval for, is additional, yeah. And it's coming out of the bond.
Yes. I'll move to approve the additional 4850 for the labor and the install on the bond.
Second.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye. Aye.
Great. Kelly, do you want me to communicate with them or do you
Sure. Yep,
let them know that they're approved on both ends?
on both ends, and if she could send us a new invoice at 20% instead of.
What it is. Gotcha. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Couple things on the agenda for discussion today. I would like to have approval to call in food trucks again this summer for county employees. I have reached out to several food trucks and tentatively, it looks like I can probably have at least one food truck here every single week from May through September. We would probably ask to have them parked right along that circle drive like we did last year. It seemed to keep all the foot traffic out of the parking lot. Yeah, it being a little bit busier that way, but commissioners are,
I move to approve.
I'll second. Is there any additional cost to us as far as liability insurance or anything?
no, just call in. They have, through the health department, they have all of their permits and
Safety checks.
everything. Yep, they come on site and they pay for their own food and they're shut there. Discussion on training. Oh, sorry.
Okay, hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now you're all good.
So, discussion on training funds. I was working with our Fred Pryor rep to get some of the memberships renewed for 2025. And I thought, I should probably double check and make sure funding was put in line item for that. And I heard that from the auditor's office that county council actually cut that budget line and said that the future request should be directed to the ARPA committee. I'm just looking for some guidance here. We have several employees that are on some training tracks with Fred Pryor for, performance improvement plans, or some employees that just pick up the additional training. I've actually recommended some training for some offices where they want some additional information on Excel and things like that. So it is something that is utilized. Right now, it is $219 for the renewal for each person, and currently we have 26 memberships, and that covers all your department heads, and then they share that membership with their employees. So for a total cost for 2025 of $56.94. And last year, we also had discussion on the certified public managers class. There is going to be another one that will be in Fort Wayne that starts in the fall. I have talked to the instructor and they said that since we spent so money this time around, that there may be a possibility to work some sort of contract with Ball State and get some discounted rates if we want to send additional people. So that funding also was not included in the budget either. So if the commissioners want me to work on a potential contract for that, I can do that as well.
I did talk to Ann about this, and we've got a fund that we could pull some from that we're not gonna spend all the money out of. We could create another line item, put Fred Fryer back in there, and then pull from that other line item and get that taken care of.
What line item is that?
She had it, and I apologize, she's not here because kids must have been on for a delay. So I don't have that right now, but I can get it to you before the end of the day.
It's important that we have it.
Yeah, I think it is too. Seems to get utilized in a positive way.
Yes.
So, I mentioned too that just depending on what fund we take it out of, I guess.
Allow the auditor to do it at her discretion.
So that's
That was Rick, then Andy.
yeah.
Okay, any further discussion on that item? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Is there still additional interest for the certified public managers class?
I know that there were a couple people that were interested this time around, but were not able to due to personal. So there may very well be some additionals. I can push out.
I would say that conversation with Ball State would probably be warranted.
Do you want me to push out an email to department heads and see if there's some interest and then kind of go from there?
In that training, do they discuss how to do employee evaluations?
There's a lot of things that we discussed in that class. And it all goes, each class talks about different things. So the last one that we needed to talk about, interviews and things like that. We have talked about performance evaluations, and it's a lot of good information.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item for discussion is the prosecutor's office vehicle for the investigator. Excuse me. I was not here for the last meeting. I believe that there was some discussion of giving the investigator the van. However, reviewing vehicles that are being purchased and things that are being decommissioned, I think I may have come up with a workaround where the prosecutor's office could potentially use the Durango that is being replaced by the new truck, correct, Chip? From what I understand, that Durango actually only has right over 100,000 miles on it. And the only thing that it needs right now is an oil change. Other than that, it's all kosher. The job description and benefits package for that investigator requires a take-home vehicle. He is part of law enforcement, so there could be situations where he would have to quickly get away in precarious situations, not necessarily on the road, maybe in the mud, and a four-wheel drive SUV would work better than a van.
We need to purchase that out of one of our funds into highway then.
We'd have to do a research to make sure that if the highway funds were used to purchase it, you just have to do some sort of offset to replace the net value of whatever it is, so.
And typically, and I don't know right off the top of my head, I'll check the asset form, but typically your guys' vehicles are purchased from, vehicles like that are purchased from QCAP, but the bigger trucks come from the highway department, but I can research that.
That sounds like a positive outcome.
Only thing they'll have to do is, they're gonna want the oil change, because we were waiting to change the oil when we decommissioned it. And it does have warning lights on it, but if he's going to be law enforcement, you might want to change the warning lights because they are construction warning lights. They're not red and blue, they're
White and yellow.
white and yellow.
Well, the current truck that the investigator was using was unmarked, didn't even have municipal plate. So it would be I would assume no lights.
He has a light that he puts in the dash if it would be needed.
Not needed.
I will do some additional research there to figure out where it was originally paid for and report back and let you know.
Is that available now? It is.
Yeah, I saw his new truck.
So we could actually go ahead and approve that funding mechanism, probably out of Q cap.
However it needs to look.
However it needs to look, yeah. Say
If it
just,
was purchased out of Cume Cap, then we wouldn't have.
then we wouldn't have to do anything at all. Yeah. Purchase out of highway funds, then we have to reimburse that line item.
And it'd just be whatever the current assessed value or
Value of it.
you wouldn't have to do a full.
That way we can get that vehicle to the prosecutor's office now.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
You know what the motion is?
I'll repeat it back.
Okay.
Rick was 1, Andy 2. And Aaron is going to do some research and find out where it was paid from. If it was paid from highway funds, then take the money out of Cume Cap for whatever the current value is for it. If it was originally purchased out of Cume Cap, we're not paying anything for it, we're just transferring it over to the prosecutor's office. And they can have it now, correct?
Right.
Okay, that's what I have.
So it'll just have to be replated then, so it's not.
It's got municipal plates on it.
What's that?
It's got municipal.
Yeah, it's got municipal, but they went unmarked.
Yes, I take care of that. I will
Take
take care of the plate transfer either from the current Silverado or just get a new plate.
Okay.
Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye. Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
one other thing that's not on the agenda, but I did send to Abby to give to you. You guys have this map in your packets. So myself, EMA, the facilities superintendent, IT, we have all met down in the old prosecutor's office area to try to decipher how this would work for everybody involved. And we're talking IT, EMA, potential public defender office, and a new office for the annex maintenance supervisor as well. So what you have in front of you right now is what we came up with. The public defender side of things, we have not heard anything with regards to that funding on that misdemeanor pilot program. So I don't know where we're at with that, but I will tell you that it's my assumption if we don't get that pilot program funding, the office will probably come back to county council in 2026. It's something that is needed for the program. Just need to figure out how to fund it. So-
Aaron and I finding out right now that the lack of that office is creating some real issues with our public defenders.
Yes.
The need for it is.
The physical office.
Yeah. Physical office and actually having a managing public defender position. It is creating a lot of issues for that right now and juggling of personnel in the court system and everything, so.
Yes. So this is what we came up with. EMA is good to go with what shows here, but there are some things, removing walls, building walls, putting new key fobs on doors that I wanted you guys just to kind of take a look at. I don't know if you want to move forward with, the EMA portion, or if you just want to kind of sit on it for a little bit, talk to Lee a little bit and see what's going on, what his plans are. But I just wanted you to have this. IT is ready.
If we need to do any more work just to accommodate EMA or like that, I don't think we would want to do all we need to and have a contractor do it and not show up multiple times.
I think if you just do it all at one time, then I would probably recommend we start getting pricing to get it done.
Yes.
Looks like it's moving in that direction.
Yes.
Maybe we could have Mr. Cut get some bids out.
Yeah, I think he was working towards that direction, right?
So anything over 50,000 we'll have to advertise, so if whatever he can put together, we'll have to have something written up. We can, if it's under 50,000, we're gonna have to play that by ear, but
Yeah, it's getting close.
Yeah.
Because it's my understanding, even if we do it in phases, that the whole project is, let's call it one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would still be. Am I correct in assuming that, Mr. Stuckey?
You are absolutely, they're sticklers on that too.
I think I've heard that before.
I keep in mind if the intention is for the public defenders to move in here, I mean, we're just only wanting to install a door and put up 2 additional walls in that office area. That would qualify for a potential 40% reimbursement if it was.
Just that project.
Don, could they be separated out that way then?
It has to get,
The public defender office, because of the program that we are in, we do the reimbursement request every quarter. So if there are renovation costs for the public defender's office, if we are going to have a public defender office, that's why I don't think things should happen right now with the public defender area, then that would qualify for reimbursement from the state.
I don't see a problem there.
There would be a separate, you could consider that a separate project.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how we go forward, is we do everything except public defenders area
Unless we hear otherwise on that misdemeanor pilot program.
and have to do it in 2 phases that way. And that would keep us under that threshold. Like,
Guess I'd like to take a look at that a little further. Whether that's, I understand what Aaron's saying in there, but still having it done at 2 different times or, and the disruption that it could cause versus having it all done at once and being done with it. We might not have to finish the inside walls or whatever, but any of the exterior stuff around that room could be done and just wait on the interior.
you could do a project like that at the same time, but just have them be considered separate projects.
Yeah.
You know, have one estimate. With 2 parts to it.
I mean, truthfully, if you take a look at this, if install the key fob door, on this back hallway and then installing a door here, that could actually be rolled into like the EMA sort of things, and IT. Really, the only thing that we need for the public defenders is 2 walls being created in the back there to make a conference room area. A little bit bigger than the existing offices that they have there. It's set up right now, there's cubicles and everything there for 3 admin staff, and there's 2 other offices.
So if we move forward with the project and have them do everything, they could split that part of it out. Even though we're gonna have to pay for it up front regardless, and ask for reimbursement. And then if that does happen, we can ask for the reimbursement from that.
I don't know how it would, just need to make sure that we have approvals in place that, yes, we are moving forward with the public defender office, which there are additional costs for that for the chief public defender. So that would involve county council approving the funding and everything. Having renovations done in anticipation of a public defender office being, I think there might be a little bit of a difference there. Because if it does not come to fruition and it ends up being used for something else, and you receive 40% reimbursement on it for a public defender thing, I don't think that would.
No, I don't know if I would ask for the reimbursement until after this time, but if we had it separated out, we could at least ask for the reimbursement. Because that project was done in anticipation. For the public defender.
They won't give any timeline as to when they're gonna decide.
Well, they said that they were going to be reaching out during the month of January for reporting. I never heard anything. And so real positive when it comes to this, but I don't know. Never heard anything.
I think we can go ahead and get estimates based off of this though right now.
Yeah.
And having them separated but on the same project. Yes.
We gotta pay for it upfront regardless.
Yeah. Because you're still looking at something that's probably 30 to 60 days out. And by then, you should probably know
You get
what we're
numbers
doing.
at least.
We can have two things going at the same time instead of waiting for one to occur before we do it.
I like that. You need a motion for that or anything?
We probably should. Austin did.
Yeah, to prove that we, move forward with the, getting numbers for the, renovation of the offices in the annex building, in the bottom level of the annex building.
A second.
Is that clear, Kelly?
You're gonna have Austin move forward with obtaining quotes?
Yes.
Yes, it is clear.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Morning.
First thing I have is NDOT LP voucher claim number 13 for preliminary engineering for bridge number 37 and then $6,937.33 to Lockheed River.
What's Bridge 37?
675 west, the south of 120.
Any further? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye. Thank you. Capital improvement updates. We're just finalizing paperwork, going through the audit process in the state of Indiana for County Road 200 North. County Road 100 North, 200 West roundabout. We completed our foundation paperwork for parcel number 3, sent to Mr. Stike for his review and filing. Bridge 37, we're working on stage 2 plans. Pocahontas Trail South, we're working on the preliminary plans, and for small structure number 7, we had our pre-construction meeting last Wednesday. Went through all our paperwork. Issued notice to proceed. NIPSCO should be starting their relocation here in less than 2 weeks. We got NIPSCO relocation for 2 weeks, and we got Brightspeed relocation. And everything should be moved and ready for June 1st closure. And we hope to have it July 4th. We'll have that small structure replaced. Steuben County Fueling and Salt Barn Fuel Center is open and operational. We've sent the letters out so we can start getting departments online. Lots of good responses. We got most of the departments online. We have some more departments to do yet. One thing we have left on our end is just figure out if we're going to charge an administrative fee. If we do, what it isn't, it's just supposed to be a flat fee once a month, just for the covering the Department of State Board of Accounts that we're not taking highway department funds, paying for other departments. Proposed $3 monthly invoice fee, and if you don't get invoiced, you don't get charged.
Or $3.
Need to be at least a minimum of $1, cover the hour. Maybe do some growth if when people make more over time, you can also show that, you know, we're gonna eat half that cost. Because we're really just trying to cover half hour of work a month for an administrative staff.
Just wondering why 3, not 5, or, you know.
Yeah.
I feel bad about charging people $5
It's per department, right?
per department. Yep.
Move to approve.
That was the $3, correct?
Yes, $3.
Okay, any further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye.
I'll eventually get back around to working on speed radar signs, but it's just that time of the year that I have time to work on that and I can wait. The safety grant, we had set today as potential for discussing whether or not we are going to inform NDOT that we weren't going to move forward with this project. I've had a couple of good conversations with NDOT on this project. As far as the issue is they created a program, they advertised the program. When they got to implementation stage of that grant program, for lack of a better term, the right hand who's creating the program wasn't talking to the implementation side, has to implement the program. They created, you can't really follow through on. So lots of communities who followed what they created and applied for what they advertised can't get preliminary engineering done in the time frame that they're going to ask for. Plus, they're asking us to eat 100% of the cost of preliminary engineering, but it wasn't part of the grant program. So it really loses the benefit of doing the grant. And you have the problem of, I've called around the consulting firms to do the work. What we got quoted was $30,000 to do the work. And other municipalities are calling around and firms are just flat out telling them they can't perform the duties because they weren't able to prepare to do this work. And NDOT still can't tell the consulting firms what all the work they're going to have to do. I mean, they understand that municipalities can be turning these grants back because of the situation. I think that's the best route, and I'll just straight roads with our program until they get there, figured out how to make that grant program work the way they want it to work.
Yeah. A motion for that?
Yep. Turn it back to them. So you know.
Thank you, Ben.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'll let them know. Campus parking lot project, just touch base. You guys need anything else from me?
No.
I mean, if you can, get out the lot stretcher and make it a little bigger. Or
I don't have one.
Shrink the cars that are parking in it, one of the two.
I don't have a board stretcher either.
Okay.
Community crossing match, application for the 2025-1 call. The application's been submitted and reviewed. The garage painting project, he gets approved last time. We've already set everything up with the contractor. Lean-to project, I'll be working on that this spring to get the state building permit for that.
Pick the color yet?
I think we have a couple ideas and we're hoping you guys would stop out and give us a thumbs up on it. We don't let me pick colors. I only have 5 colors. Like, wife says they're not good. So someone else pick it. The 2025 draft road program. submitted for you guys to review last time. I didn't know if you guys had a chance to review it. Good with it. If I can get an official approval for that, I appreciate it, and I can start lining up vendors.
Questions? No? Motion?
Approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye. Aye.
Thank you. The patch truck replacement you guys approved last time, we got the purchase of the patch truck, we got it in. And we're outfitting it now with the new van. The roofing quote, that contract has been submitted to the vendor. That work is scheduled for April, so good. County demolition project. I believe you guys approved last time that we were going to need demolition for the main shelter. Do we have a line item for an excavator? Rent an excavator from. Same with the dumpsters. The other thing is, in lieu of starting to keep track of our hours and fuel and all that stuff, can we just make an agreement that in lieu of refunding MVH for the work performed, we're going to be granted use of the equipment and dumpsters to do those two demolitions for the roundabout. I believe I confirmed my quote. We're looking around $20,000 to pull down, take care of the humane shelter. That's the rental of the excavator and dumpsters. I believe for like 32.5, we can take all three buildings down. And getting those buildings down in advance would mean we would move up the utility companies' timeframe when they can relocate, which means we'll have a shorter window of closure. That whole project would be able to run smoother once it's let.
Is there a basement?
There's basements in houses, yes.
Needs to be filled or?
Yep. We will collapse them, we will fill them. We will get all the demolition permits through the county, because we do have demolition permits. The other thing was that I was hoping to do these in March, which you guys approve them, then I have time to go get permits, get everything lined up.
Is there any issue with trading work for work?
It's permitted, it's been done over the years. Trading work for work and trading product for work has been common and is approved as part of the.
With the MPH?
Has to be a legitimate and equal trades, but
The line item for that would be Fund 1138 or 0015 likely. Can get line item for various projects. The only other one that might qualify would be our project ready seating. That look 38.
For 1138.
Yep.
For 0015 Cape Cap.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye. Thank you. I'll get that all lined up. Then we went to quote for our 2025 spring road striping program. I attached a quote tab for your review. Earmarking came in as low quoter. I would like approval to contract with earmarking for our spring 2025 road striping program and $98,421.60. It funds in my budget. Road striping line item.
Move to approve.
Go ahead. They can run straight down the middle of the road?
Better than me.
Any further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
I did have two other things I wanted to make you guys aware of. You guys don't have to approve them today, but they came in, so wanted to make you aware of them in case you want to approve them today or the next time. We did get Shambaugh and Sons contract for a traffic signal maintenance agreement. It's identical to last year, the previous two. They have not raised any of our rates. It's a biannual contract. Other than them having the wrong names on the signature page, everything's fine. If you guys want to approve it today, you can. I'll wait till next time I can turn it in. You got it to me on Friday, so.
I'm fine.
Motion.
Yes.
Second.
Shambaugh. Project signal. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Yeah, they have,
It's a 2-year contract.
yeah, they have not dated it in like 3. But the names are all wrong, but the price is the same. They do good work. They respond whenever I call them. The other thing we have been working on was looking into whether or not it is feasible for us to take over a portion of, economically, taking over a portion of the maintenance on the Pocahontas Trail that we have that extends north from the city limits to Pocahontas State Park. Parks Department provided me some information and some potential pricing. I've reviewed all that. In order for to look at the contract, we have 2 phases of that trail. The existing agreement between us and the city of Bangor is a mow phase 1, state park mows phase 2, and the city plows both phases. They have been having us on a payment cycle of $18,000 a year for those services. They proposed the contract to continue paying that at $18,000. We had talked to them about pricing out what if we took over mowing. Their price for plowing, and we kept requesting them to plow it because we don't have a small utility vehicle to plow it. The trail was not designed to plow. That section of the trail was not designed to plow with a pickup truck, and the pedestrian bridge was not designed for pickup truck and plow. So they have the small utility vehicle to plow it. So we asked them for a price to plow those sections. To plow those sections, their price or the contract price was $15,500. So my recommendation to the county board of commissioners is to let them plow both sections and mow the first section at $18,000 a year, which is the same contract price that they've had for.
Keep it in place.
Yes.
Motion's there or anything, because it's already there.
Yeah.
Contract's not due for a renewal.
The contract is due for.
It's due for renewal.
Yes, so I have the contract. If you guys want to review it, it's the exact same contract as last year.
We budgeted for that.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve the contract for trail maintenance.
Second.
further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Other than that, general operations. Watching the weather, we are out looking for spots holding water to drain them off.
Thank you.
We are also looking for potholes in the trucks, and then as right today, guys not grinding together because we got a bad bout of the flu going through the shop. So we're trying to stay separate as possible and disinfect everything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jeff, can you send us
Alicia.
copies?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
There are 2 items on the agenda today. So my first request is for Athena and VaxCare invoice payments, future ones as well as the current one that I have submitted. The issue is that they are right over the cusp of the $500 limit, so I would literally have to be on the agenda every single time that this have a meeting, because one comes out in the first week of the month and the other one comes out in the third week. To actually pay them on time and have goodwill with these companies, I would like to get future approval. And if there's anything that looks strange or out of the norm, we would go forward and actually take care of that before paying the bill, obviously. But we have budgeted for these. So they're routine known payments. It's just they are now right over the threshold, and I don't want to bog down your meeting by getting the same approval over and over again.
Do we need to look at increasing the threshold? Or we want to keep the threshold and just give her permission
I was
to?
gonna say, just give her an annual permission to do these each year.
I did have one recently in the past while I was on maternity leave, just so nobody had to come and do it on my behalf. And that went from, I think, October until February, like January 31st. So this is actually just kind of an extension of what I've already requested once in the past. We did not have issues during that time frame that you would have given advance approval as well.
Make a motion to give her approval.
I'll second.
Questions? Yes.
So she's good for the year then?
Yes.
Or all of these small ones?
2025.
All the 2025 for all of her
Motion.
Yes.
small invoices?
Yeah.
Unless she deems it necessary to come see us.
Thank you.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
And the second one is just bringing it to the attention and getting approval for the price change for the vaccine storage that I saw the commissioners for last meeting, I believe, in January. It went from about $33,500 to $467.48. I did leave a note on the verbal approval form at the bottom, just so you could see that. It's a change of about $1,417.60. They change price quickly with manufacturing, so I did definitely, when they said that to me, I already have the pro forma invoice in hand and submitted it for reimbursement to the state. This is the final price. It should not change.
Motion.
Move to approve.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
It's a bigger.
Morning, Brett.
Morning.
ask for permission to get a vehicle repaired.
Sway bar, huh?
Mm-hmm.
1,000 miles probably.
Still a heck of a lot cheaper than buying something.
What are you doing? Ball joint? See where they're at?
This is all I've got from, so those must go all right. I think this thing's rusted through.
Old sway bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make approval.
Second. Yes.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye. Easy enough.
I'm sorry?
Easy enough, huh?
Yeah. I've sent an email to you asking for permission to talk to Mr. Stuckey about cameras.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I was waiting to defer to you two because you might have further knowledge of that before I.
Probably need an opinion on it. Yep.
Thank you.
I hadn't chimed in yet or anything on that one.
Morning, Scott. Morning.
All right.
I'm here today to ask, see if you guys guidance and approval on two different matters for handling our funds. First one is the recommendation of the State Board of Accounts. We have been advised that we should not retain more than $20 million without depositing it, which is under the Indiana Code 513-6. To comply with these guidelines, I'm requesting permission to deposit all funds collected into the current bank account we have for PayGov, which is our credit card collector. This will allow us to operate efficiently and make a single monthly transfer to the auditor's office. I believe this process will be better compliance and efficiency.
We don't have any other departments that do that. The only thing that goes into the bank accounts is their credit card statements. All cash and checks do come to the auditor's office via reported collections.
So they would have to bring it to you.
Same as they've been doing, correct. Now, I know he said State Board of Accounts said the $500, right, Scott?
Yes.
I do know that the person that Scott has been speaking to doesn't typically work with the counties. I don't know if it's schools or who it is. I only know that because Ann had spoken with them and had gathered some information for them, and Ann was curious why they were doing it that way. And she said, well, I don't normally deal with counties. So I would like to be able to reach out to who actually does the county's full audits and ask them about that $500. Now, if that's something that the County Board of Commissioners wants to keep in place, the $500, that's one thing. But I don't know that it is limited to the 500, Scott. Only because we've got two different auditors that we're speaking with. So I was going to verify that, but if you guys want it limited to $500, I mean, we will follow whatever you guys want. It's up to you guys.
And the reasoning behind going to your the bank account rather than the auditor is because of
Tracking that way too.
tracking and then with deposits, right?
So he would take it, he's going to keep track of it at work, and he's gonna go deposit it, which means you're gonna have to reconcile it. And then the treasurer's also gonna reconcile it, and then we're gonna get a check. If he brings it in here, we're just gonna receipt it in, the treasurer's gonna count it. Same process as always. And I don't know if you want the treasurer's input on this as well. I don't know. It's up to you.
I'd like a little more input before we make a decision.
I think so too. I'm just sitting there thinking, you probably collect funds almost daily at the start of the year. Which would mean you'd have to be running up to here every day if there's a limitation as to what they can hold.
And that's why before, we've never been told that there was that $500 limit.
Get some more confirmation on that.
I will be at conference. And then I also have another auditor that I can reach out to. Susan, whom we, yes, Susan Metzger is who I would reach out to. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, thank you.
Like I said, Scott, the only reason I brought it up is because she spoke with Ann as well.
I'm learning from all this, so.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page.
Part of the reason for also putting it into the checking account too, because once we put it in there, it's gonna withdraw from that customer's account. We hold on to it out there, 2 weeks later, it's not withdrawn from their account, they're calling us. It's a consistent call, like, hey, I haven't seen my check being withdrawn yet, it's still in my account. So I think by doing this, it would speed up the
Well,
process.
you could do the same thing though with the auditor by taking it to them.
Because it would be deposited, yeah.
Be deposited.
I mean, because, we sit on thousands of dollars in here.
When there's a safety deposit as far, or a rental deposit and check needs to go back, you're writing the check back to that individual or?
Now we're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
So regarding that, in the past, here in the auditor's office, if you get those checks, a lot of them are, the highway gets them. For highway projects, we've had them in here. They are kept in a safe. If you're talking about, we also get them if somebody rents one of the rooms, the cleaning deposits. Typically, we hold on to them locked in the safe, and then we return them to them after the fact, unless we keep them to cash them. And then they are notified that we are keeping your cleaning deposit and we are cashing it. Otherwise, we just hang on to them. We don't deposit them and write a check back. And the State Board of Accounts has been fine with that all these years. We've never been asked to do it a different way. And that's how we handle it here.
So, what Scott brought up, and the chances in somebody putting in a deposit for 2026, that check could actually be outdated far enough. If you would need to keep it, it could not be cashed.
True. Again, we're talking about two different things here. It's first request versus the second.
Yeah.
Are you reading off of this?
Well, he's going through this. Yeah, the first one was different than this one.
Let's get some clarification on it.
Yeah.
I think they all kind of tie together. It's, some of that's all State Board of Accounts and how they want us to handle those funds.
I have a list of questions for the State Board of Accounts when I leave here today to go down. Like I said,
She should be here today, this Susan King.
this one will be, okay. I have to leave at one for conference. But if I have an opportunity, I can speak with her also. And then I will get a hold of Susan Metzger, who is our audit rep, as well as I'll go straight to the desk, State Board of Accounts desk down there.
Yeah, there's usually several of them sitting there for us to
Yeah.
talk to. Paul Joyce has been there several times.
My second one today is concerning the park funds out there collection. I spoke to several different departments, and Alicia, thank her because she helped quite a bit on that. I went to other departments, kind of seeing how they handle everything. Would like permission for use of the accounting software, SmartGov. I think just by looking at that and going over with Jason Army down at the health department, I think it's going to benefit us out there. It'll enhance and improve our transparency and management for the park funds. And it should be in line with the best practice for accurate and timely reporting. So, we have 2 departments using that, or 3. Yeah.
We're onboarding our third one, but building and planning I count as one.
And,
Highways using it.
Not yet. They are, getting close.
so this is, you're asking for permission to,
Use smart government there.
you don't have a built model yet. You?
We have a rough framework.
Okay.
What we really need to do is we really need him to get on there and play around with it and
Yeah.
figure out if there's any hiccups or speed bumps so we can work those out. The costs incurred by SmartGov directly would be if he needs anything official like a plaque card or a seal on anything for a certain permit. Based on the conversation that he had with Jason, it looks like he would be able to forego those items and keep the costs for actually building anything in very, very low.
Okay.
So Jason actually pretty much has it done. The only thing we really need to find out if it works for him and if any changes need to occur.
Sounds good to me. I would move to approve.
Second. I like that option much better than your first request.
Yes. Because I was struggling with that one.
Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Okay. My next thing on the agenda would be the, I should have a spreadsheet in front of you, or should I have a spreadsheet attached? For the key breakdown. So all the yellow on there are adjustments and probably the changes that we're requesting. Along with just establishing, if we can say for a weekend out there, if it could be 8 a.m. From 8 a.m. on Friday till noon on Sunday, so it established this is weekend. Because weekend was just before just open, like if you want a weekend, well, what's a weekend? You want to get noon the day before, you have your event on Saturday and then noon on Sunday. I think we should probably establish that from 8 a.m. on Friday until noon on Sunday for a full weekend price.
Why not 5 after business hours?
We could do, yeah. You mean on Sunday, right?
No, I'm not on Friday.
Friday 5?
I'm just asking a question. I have rented out there for that. And if that's Friday, that's a business day. If somebody else wants to rent that.
Yeah. Well, then, if it's a
Use
weekend,
it.
Sunday at noon, that's only a half day on the weekend. So you're kind of, sure you probably should extend Sunday if you're looking at your weekend.
When I used it, I'm just giving an example. I went in after work. And then that's when we set up, was Friday after work. Saturday was the wedding. We still had some more setup stuff. And we were torn down by noon, but I know other people may not. So that's how long it took us.
I mean, other than weddings, what other events have you had that have?
Yeah, we got.
Right.
Prom this year.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of, there have been shows or anything that have gone Saturday and Sunday.
We had the reptile show that did the weekend, yeah.
Oh, like were they there Sunday then?
I think they were out by noon, I think. The most of them cleaned up the night before, but there was different vendors in there, so it was a lot easier for them to clean up. Alrighty, suggestions, good. Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Sunday.
I know there's some of these places you rent, I mean, you have it, like 6 o'clock in the morning to midnight, you better be out that day. That's your day, but they're turning over rentals.
For the
They
next,
might have one Friday night, Saturday night, and depending on Sunday, whether they have something.
I mean, if you're gonna call it a weekend, to me, you'd have to maybe make it like Sunday. If you're gonna go, Friday at 5 p.m., Sunday at 5 p.m. or something.
That makes sense.
Friday 5 to Sunday 5.
It can be agreeable.
Then adjusting that price on that. Again.
I'm fine with that.
And I guess before we do prices, so last year in cleaning, we had 16,300 clean at the event center and the Lions Building. So I'd like to try to at least adjust some of that there, up all of it to the renter instead of. So it's coming out of the rent.
Basically, you have for weekend cleaning, 2,500 plus the cleaning fee is 2,920 or 2,925.
Because it's $375 for the event center each cleaning and $175 for the Lions each cleaning.
Yeah. You should be paying for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know if it would almost make sense to have a separate.
Have a separate line, so it's X dollars to rent plus cleaning fee is X dollars. List those separately.
Some separately.
Yeah. You had that sheet, right? I think I saw that, your cleaning fees.
Yes. What we had all last year.
But I don't even see it. I mean, that's your fee structure for your, you have a rental fee that they're gonna pay, and then cleaning fee that they're gonna pay. It's still gonna write one check for that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they have a deposit too?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I thought it did.
So on the event center, it's $250. On the Lions Building, it's $200.
So, that being said, we're just gonna keep the current rates and just add cleaning fee. Right?
Yes.
And okay, we'll do that. What about the conference room rental? We normally will say $25 an hour, not to exceed $200. That room. If we can just do a flat fee for over 4 hours, say it's $200. Do $25 an hour. Anything over 4 would be the $200.
What do we do for downstairs?
We changed it. Oh, man.
Half day and full day, right?
Yeah. It is so many, yeah. Do you remember those dollar amounts off the top of your head? Dang it. You want me to find out what those are real quick?
We probably want to stay,
Stay at a half day and a full day.
yeah,
That is what we did downstairs.
Conference room.
yes.
Then sometimes when they come in to use the conference room, they want to use the kitchen. So we do a fee on that. I suggest $150.
Are we charging a cleaning fee on that too then?
There has not been a cleaning fee on the conference room.
Probably should be.
What's been using, I mean, who've been using that the most recently?
USCCA. They do like in-home defense. They come out there once or twice a month during the middle of the week. So we're already there, so.
Yeah, that's not for profit, right? Yeah.
I had an 84-year-old twin birthday party out there this week.
So you get birthday parties, bridal showers and stuff like that, yeah, going in there. That would probably require a cleaning fee.
I basically go in and vacuum it out, take the trash out for them.
should be.
Yeah.
Probably should be based on what it would cost to have somebody outside of us do it, even if we do it. Because there may be times where the staff out there is not able to do it.
What was the cleaning fee for the Lions building as well as?
So kitchen fee also on top of that then, or if they use the kitchen?
Yes.
Yeah.
The next one down is the Lions building. We never did have a half-day rate or half-day fee out there. It was, in our brochures, it says $500. That doesn't say whether it was a day or for a weekend. So we do have a lot of people go out there and just want to use it for 4 hours.
Define that 4 hours as morning or afternoon or any 4 hours during that day.
You can do, oh, sorry. A few times we had them out there, it was basically the auctioneers auctioning off stuff, and they'll come out and they set up their auction. By the time they do set up, tear down, they're out there 4 hours.
Define half day as anything at 4 hours or less.
I guess my thought was that, if you take that 10 to 2 as a half day, but you've basically taken it so you can't run it the other half. Not that there's that high demand, but
I think you're probably okay. Just a 4 hour
weekend would be
period.
the only time I think that they could come into play where you might want to find the half day as morning or afternoon.
Okay.
In my thought anyways.
Before we. A great day now. I was here. Ann and I were talking a little bit. A suggestion, make it easier, might be to do a flat rate for your rentals plus tax. Sorry, we haven't been talking about tax, but he has to charge tax for all of these. Sorry to bring up something different.
You're good.
It would make it a lot simpler, especially when because he has to turn that into us and then we have to report it. If we did flat rate plus tax. He's got 467.29 and then tax at 32.71. I don't know. Anna just suggested that. So I wanted to bring it up.
For it.
I'm sorry?
It would be easier for you to account for it.
Yeah.
And I see no reason to not do that.
So if he can do that, then these numbers are gonna fluctuate just a smidge, if you guys are okay with that as we're going through these.
So right now in our brochures, it'll say for Lions building, for example, it would say 500 tax included.
I would suggest that you don't, publish rates on brochures, but maybe have handouts and the rates are effective, whatever that date is, because those rates can change at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, you should have just a rate sheet.
Just a rate sheet.
Yeah.
So no rates labeled on the brochures.
It should not be. Call for rates.
You could have somebody that has a 2-year-old brochure in their hand, they'll say, hey, your rates say it's this.
Yeah.
Or check, keep the website updated.
Maybe go, so do the Lions building for 500 for the day, 300 for the half day to keep those amounts even, plus tax on top of that. Would that be helpful to you?
Yeah, it really would.
So in keeping that in mind, going up to the event center one, those look okay up there for you down there.
Get rid of those miscellaneous cents.
Too far.
If You're gonna have to break, you said you're gonna break them down by lines anyway. So you would have your rental, you wanted to keep that, you guys said keep that current, right? The 2,500 that it is?
For the weekend, yes.
Yep. For the weekend, half day then, 625. Sunday through Thursday daily rate, 1250.
I'm sorry, what was the half day, Friday, Saturday, I'm sorry?
625.
625. Those numbers work for you? Okay. And then non-for-profit, I would change that weekend to probably, might as well make it 15 even. And then the Sunday through Thursday, probably do the 625 again.
And the reason why we took those up a little bit more was $5 extra.
So you're gonna go 625 plus cleaning fees?
Um,
That's what, okay.
Plus cleaning fees plus tax, right?
Yep.
Okay. Friday, Saturday one, and 75 good?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one would be on the second, would be underneath camping. Do you guys have more questions on the event center lines?
Fine.
So, and Andy brought up something good too. Do we need to have a weekly rental? Could we just do one, was it weekly, Andy, or monthly? I'm sorry. One, we decided to get rid of one of them monthly, all right?
I told you about, yeah, you don't have a monthly one right now, right?
Oh, we do, and it's currently at $588 change per month. That was with tax too, yes, that was with tax for the 588 change.
Let's just look at rental amounts excluding tax,
Okay.
because the tax is gonna go on.
Right.
We're gonna keep the rental amounts what they are.
So do we eliminate monthly and just go by weekly?
Which one are you on?
Camping,
Okay.
down to weekly.
And is this camping with hookups or is this?
Yeah, it's all hookups, but these, we've never taken electrical out of any one of these as far as the daily, weekly, monthly, or, yeah. So those three, we did not take any kind of electrical fees out of. So you can go in there and hook up for a week, leave your air conditioner on all week, and all you're paying is light rate, you're not paying the electric.
That's what I was questioning.
Those probably ought to be increased then.
Yeah.
Sorry, another suggestion.
Yeah.
Ann and I were looking at this, and I haven't talked to you about this yet, Scott. When we were looking last year in '24, when the fund went negative, it's because, since we're talking about the camping and the electrical now, the security deposit for the electrical is only what, $50?
Yeah.
Ann and I's suggestion would be to increase that, because some of those that stay for all summer, or whatever, by the time they bill for that at the end of the summer, that fund, that line item is in the red.
Yes.
If you would increase that security deposit, or just their deposit for the electrical, that would help out also.
What kind of number would you need to get it there?
I didn't think that far. What did we go? We were $7,000 in the hole? Did it go up more than
For
that?
the year?
Yeah, before December hit.
Some of them haven't paid yet, but I think when we average out, I think we're 15, what we collected and what we paid, we're $1,500 difference in the hole.
I mean, once they bill out in December, if they pay right away, you do get that back. But State Board of Accounts also does not like to see those lines in the red. So That was a suggestion on that.
What is the average? Do you have an average amount of what a lot uses out there?
Average probably is gonna be around $400.
$400 to $500?
The highest is 1,000
Per season.
per season, yes.
So you're having to pay, if they pay for the season,
They pay a $50 deposit, and then at the end of the year, we read their meter again, and then they pay that electrical bill.
Unless you change how often you read the meter.
Yeah, manually read those.
You know,
Yikes.
that's a lot of work.
And we're getting digital now. The company we've been getting those meters off from, once they go out, they have digital now, which is gonna be a lot easier and quicker to read too. Because some of them are the roll arounds, and you're trying to decide whether it's between a 1 or a 2 or, yeah. Or people like me that can't see the little numbers.
so I guess to me, if we get an average on what electrical usage is, why wouldn't we add that to the half for full season?
Why wouldn't we collect that up front? Because you don't know if they're gonna pay you in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically sticking our arm out there. Yeah.
And the season is what, April?
April 15th to October 15th.
So that's 6 months. At an average of,
400 to 500 roughly each season.
so it's, you know,
$60, $70 a month.
yeah. So you really should take your deposit on that up to probably $300 or so, and then have it,
If it's more than that.
if it's more than that, then they'll get billed for the balance. If it's less than that, then they get reimbursed.
They would just fill out the claim forms that we need, and then we would write a check back to them.
Now, on your aspect of, I thought about this too, if some of it ask, can you just put it on my next year's rent? If they overpaid for electric, could you do that?
We still have to pay the electric bill. I mean, that's
Is that something that maybe,
It's bookkeeping.
bookkeeping, so
Yeah.
you'd be keeping track of that, not us.
okay, I didn't know if that would be allowed or, because it's going from
That's-
year to year.
That's their call.
Be tough on that one.
But you would have to keep it off of SmartGov, and then you would have to manually enter it in, but that's open to human error and manipulation. Especially if you're waiving a portion or a percentage. I would say it would just be cut and dry, keep each year different. You can hand them the check back, and then they can hand you the check when they come for the next season.
Okay.
Tracking purposes for the State Board of Accounts. I would like to see a check cut back, because then, like she said, they were billed this, they were over by $50, we cut them a check back for $50. 30.
Yeah, that's good to me.
Yeah, if that eliminate being overdrafted in that.
Show me ready, yeah.
It would help that a lot, and then we can see, well, you guys need to tell him what dollar amount you want for sure, but then we can see at the end of 25 how that fared versus the 50, if they're still running short in it. You always try bumping it again, and I don't believe you have very many that we would have to do refunds for. I do think there will probably be some,
There may be.
yeah, but I don't think there's gonna be that many,
Under $200 to $300, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be a lot of money going back to them.
Oh, I mean, it's probably what we want, to be close to that break-even point.
We shouldn't be putting that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, those deposit checks for the electric, those would be ones you'd cash.
Correct.
Put into that account. They
Yes.
wouldn't be ones you would hang on to and then return.
Were you hanging on to them before?
Electric, no, they all,
Okay.
the only thing we ever held on to out there was security deposits.
I think you'd probably end up having to do this for 26, not 25, because
That's my next
25 has already been done.
As far as taking in.
Yeah. This would be more of a 26
Yeah.
item for that.
That'll give them time to prep for that too and let them know, so.
What dollar amount were you guys thinking?
300
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
for the full year,
Yes.
half season, then half of that 150.
So then we want to keep the weekly and monthly. We need to increase that if we're not metering, we're not collecting any of that.
Yeah, if we're not metering them,
We need to,
so it's, I'd say you have to raise it by probably $5 to $10 a day.
Yep. A day or a week?
Day.
And the numbers I had in yellow right there for the weekly and monthly, I just did a percentage of what the full season, so.
how many weekly, monthly, do you think we actually get as far as campers?
We're not gonna have as many this year because we don't have as many available lots. We're down to 9 or 10 available lots right now. If we don't get those full season, we'll offer out to the smaller, so the daily, weekly, monthly. So we shouldn't have as many this year.
I mean, it makes sense. So running the weekend 4th of July when it's hot, they're gonna be using a heck of a lot more electricity and then,
And I do have some that come in here this weekly,
If you want to get, I guess, more competitive, do you have a rate structure that for, if you're renting monthly, if it's the month of May, it's X dollars. That's the month of June, July, and August, which are the prime months, they're a little more.
yeah, you got season and off season. I mean, I really think we should look into that, like July and August should be more expensive than April, May, and September and October.
Even on the full season, or you just?
No, just talking weekly and monthly.
Because we're not talking that many sites.
Not even 9, 10 empty ones right now that might have
I mean, if they're gonna do it for the whole campground, I can see that.
Well, we're already baking that in with,
Yeah.
half season and full season. What technically is a half season?
3 months. I mean, a lot of people come in and want to do it either the first half of the season or second half, and we've had it where.
So you don't have any that just want to do it, June, July, and August? They couldn't do that.
Well, they could, but if we have one available. I mean, they can come into in the middle and do, July, August, September.
Right.
Well, that would be.
That's what I'm saying. That would make sense. That would be more expensive. It should be more expensive. Yeah.
We usually have a return one that does the last 3 months every year too, that first one available.
So then really we need to come up with a rate structure per month. For each individual month of the summer that we have campers out there, we need a rate structure for each month, which would still coincide with our full season or half season or whatever. But if they are coming out to rent June, July, August, it's gonna be different than if they're gonna April, May, and June.
Right.
Take a little time. Come up with a little rate structure there.
I would say most of those campgrounds do something similar.
Yeah, they call it season and off season.
Yeah.
It's
Or
whatever.
prime time and
Yeah.
non-prime or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's look at something like ASCA.
Yeah, because availability and electrical usage and all that stuff, it's gonna be different. Again, we're all talking for 26 seasons. Yeah.
The only other thing we didn't have out there was on the piers, and we had some of those pop up last year. So if somebody wanted to come in and just do 30 days on the slip if we had it available on the slip for a daily rate. Got both of those last year. The camper moved out, gave it a slip up, so the campers didn't want it, so we offered that out to either a daily or a weekly.
Just be the slip and not the camp too.
Correct, yeah. So right now, for the slips, Or if it was a camper, then, because some of them were actually campers too, said, hey, can I just get it for a week? So do we distinguish if it's a camper or non-camper? Because right now, the camper rates for the county dock are $500 per season.
And your non-camper is
$1,500.
or can you go and have a dock slip on the lake?
Yeah. That's why I thought the 30-day, I mean, if it was either, and then if we want to distinguish whether it was a camper or non-camper, just keep it across the board. You know, monthly rate would be the $100, daily rate would be the $50.
That's, great.
Yeah, absolutely. Because then why wouldn't somebody just rent it for the 6 months at $600?
Right. Yeah, that's, you have to make it more.
I made that off of a camper rate versus a non-camper rate.
You're gonna have to make, that monthly rate's gonna have to be like 300. And I was thinking that they would $10.
Yeah. Or at least 20.
I did get 25 a day last year.
Well, then we might as well keep it at that to be consistent.
Right.
25 daily, 300 monthly.
Again there.
But again, if they only want to rent it for June, July, August,
Well,
as opposed to the whole season.
300, although 300 monthly, that's 25 daily. You just rent it daily and it's less money.
Shouldn't be. It's only 30 days and $300, 10.
Come on.
We were talking about the piers, right?
Yes.
It's $25 a day times 30 days, it'd be about $650, 700.
Made you think, anyways.
And would we want to make the camper rate and then separate, or just keep it the same across the board, whether it was a camper or not camper?
I'd keep them the same if they're renting by the day or the month. It's day or the month, third season. Yeah.
What did you say on the 30-day slip?
300.
300.
Are you still doing the resident, non-resident rates? Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Just put all those numbers together and then bring it back to us.
Okay, gotcha.
But you didn't have resident, non-resident for the event center yet, right?
Correct. That was just a flat, yeah.
We want to add that, 10% discount for that. No?
So you're gonna define resident, just Steuben County resident?
You know what documentation you were asking for that? Not sure.
Yes, we were asking for a governance. Right, that's what we decided on.
It was in the rental agreement that they had to provide.
I think it was
Seriously,
exactly.
you'd say?
We did 10%.
Did we already have the grounds rental or is that new?
That was, we never had, we've had it out there and offered it, but we never had a rental agreement.
So yeah, he's got that in there. Grounds rental and pavilion rental. Am I jumping ahead?
Yes, a little bit.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Kind of like that thought, Andy. President, President Brown.
For the event center.
There are taxpayers that are helping
That's
to fund that. Anyway.
why
No
I
matter
mean,
what venue you rent though, they don't, nobody else has
what's that?
well, if you live in Steuben or DeKalb County, we'll give you less if you're renting from us than if you rent elsewhere.
Art? Can you send me
You do that?
the percent resident discount? Everything?
It's, you know, but it's in demand as those event centers are.
Yeah. Well, set the price of what it should be and then more from that.
Think about that.
We're
We're not finalizing it today anyway.
No.
But I'm thinking more about
We'll give it consideration.
We do already have some bookings in this, in 2026 already out there, so just wait.
Do what?
We already have bookings in 2026 already.
I was gonna say, we might want to set these rates 2 years out.
The ones that are already booked, they just are benefit of booking early.
Booking early, but
Do they know?
The rates are in there.
Oh, they have a set rate, they've been given us a rate.
Yeah, because we give them the contract, shows them all what they have to do on pricing and all this stuff.
Okay, so you probably need a built-in percentage increase.
most. Utilities aren't gonna go down, cleaning fees aren't gonna go down.
So, yeah, I think that's what we need to do, otherwise we're doing this
Do it every year, 2 or 3 years out at a time, and then each year you just add that
percentage.
that future year.
See where we're at after X amount of years.
So with that comes with the brochures and changing all those. So Tourism Bureau has agreed that they would pay for those if we have to get new ones, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, put your brochures together, call for current rates or something like that.
You print those separate or put them online separate or whatever. So you're not having to reprint brochures every year.
Right, what you can do is then have a printed fee schedule, you can tuck those inside that brochure, that way you're not.
And you can put the dates on it.
Yeah.
You know, prices get through.
So the next thing was my contracts and review, and also something else that came up too. Can we or should we ask for the last for the social security in that? Whether it will be the PPE or the investor in case something does happen.
My understanding that that's required for being able to do collections.
What happens, the last four digits are important.
Yeah.
There's no issue requiring that,
Not the last four digits. There's an issue,
any more than that.
yes.
Your last four digits are everywhere anyways.
Only the county auditor can request the last five. She has statutory authority to request the last five on your sales disclosure form.
For the homestead tracking. Which really throws them for a loop when they come in and we ask them for five.
And I think.
Everybody has to think about it. You can rattle off four just like that, but five, they gotta think about.
I didn't. So is that help collections done? To have the last four?
Last four house and collections, yes.
So I would say we add that to those contracts, yeah. Copy of a current driver's license. Or current state ID.
Or passport.
Or government issued, current government issued ID.
Then now Kelly, for the grounds contract, that's what I was asking, see if we can get approval of Don. Never had one before. I kind of mocked it off from what some of the other ones we had out there, but just added in the fees on them. And let them, all rentals including tax. We can probably change that if we need to. And then also the campers agreement for anything less than half season. I would want to add into it because the one I printed out for you guys comes in and said the daily rates. Maybe we can put in there the daily rates or daily weekly. We don't have one contract unless they should be separated. Just basically the camping ground rules are on here, just dumbing down a little bit for the people who aren't doing the longevity time, so. It applies just.
I think the contract can be the same for all of them, you just change, put the amount of the dates in. I don't want to have half a dozen different contracts out there for each.
And that works too, so.
But right now, nobody has signed a contract for short-term rentals. So yeah,
Yes.
that's what we have to make sure that.
But we've been running into issues like they don't know the rules and they're not taking their trash out when they leave it there.
Yeah, so.
Don, is there some ways we can make an adjustment to that they can just enter the dates of the. Even if somebody's there for a day or two, then you have them sign the same contract as if they're there the whole season, you just put in whatever that term is in that empty space.
Yeah. Just to make sure that they.
The blank spot there instead of putting a month, for the time frame.
Or I can adjust it, you can take a look at it if we've got some time.
I'll look at it, yeah.
That way we're using one contract, doesn't matter if they're there for one night or
That would make it a lot
for
more.
the whole season.
Yes.
You can enter the amount they're paying, you can enter the date that they're there.
That's all I have. I'll get those readjusted and bring those back next time. So. Thank you guys.
Sorry about that, Scott, because I didn't go over those with you, but after you and I talked, Ann and I talked about a couple of different things, so.
Before I think there's on all of them. Spreadsheet will come and state that.
Yeah.
Smell?
I got one there.
That dollar amount and then, every tax, you don't have to keep track of it, but just do, that dollar amount plus tax.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot easier for us when we do everything.
Okay. I don't highlight anything that there's changes on this, so.
Awesome, thanks. I made some notes, but I'll have to go over them with you
Okay.
when you have yours done.
Yeah.
Make sure that got it all. Went to break it with 11:09.
I didn't.
I really don't. No, not your fault at all. But I really do want to check on this thing with the State Board of Accounts.
She's coming out today. She said she was gonna be up.
No, it is, seriously.
I'll double check and make sure it's okay, but I'm sure it is. All right.
Susan Metzger. She for years, she's even, I think she's been retired in 2025. So, but she is really, really good. But that,
500 mark.
yeah, when Ann was talking to her about a couple of different things, she said that she didn't deal with, I mean, yes, she does audits, but as far as the rules and everything for the State Board of Accounts, she said she didn't deal with counties that much, so.
She's like, why do you guys have those? I'm like, we want, she goes, you can't do that. It was her and the other girl too. I don't know if the other girl was up here with her or not. She had a longer hair.
I haven't met either one of them, so I don't know. We were not involved only, but just pulling information on this request. So anyway, I'm gonna, like I said, I will talk. And I will reach out to her. So Thank you. For your answers. So that everybody's on the same page.
Thank you.
I don't think so.
And then Wednesday, walked out just.
There's always one issue that takes about 20% of the time.
Yeah. They kind of get away with it back in the day, right?
Okay, other business. We have claims and we have property tax refunds. And we have some out-of-cycle claims. Any questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion for approval. You can do it individually or all as one.
I did have a question on, and I asked Kelly, I've seen, past treasurer's name show up on some of them. That was, yeah, he's down in the bonds. It went in the claim, I guess. I get to it. I wrote it down on it. She said she still needs to be bonded because she's handling money. That's why I was questioning why her name was on the bond.
Further down the line on the ones that you guys are gonna sign.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Yes, I make motion.
Second. So that's a motion for the claims and then A, B, and C also.
Correct.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Motion to pay our employees.
Yeah.
Like it.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Keep wanting to put my business title and when I sign my name.
Yeah.
Thought we already did the approval.
It was,
We did it during the drainage meeting.
Okay.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
So Andy approved the paper holding. Wait a second, okay. Any further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye. Aye. 2025 bonds. And this is the only one I saw now. Yeah, there's the only one. Motion to approve the straight bond.
To approve.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then tax sale.
okay, so we are doing a commissioner sale, finally. We've held off on that for a little while. And these are all the documents that we need for that.
Is there a difference between a commissioner sale and a tax sale?
Yes, there is. So the tax sale, we sell those properties at our annual tax sale, no property taxes. Anything that has gone for 3 consecutive sales as a no bid, which means nobody bids on it, nobody wants it. Technically, by statute, the commissioners have those. They are assigned the certificates. We don't bring them to you guys every year. We just kind of hang on to them. We don't do a commissioner sale every year. We'd like to clean some of that stuff up. We have never done one online, so we thought we would try that and see if we can get some of these out there and back on the tax roll. So we're offering them all.
Some sucker in California.
What's that?
Some sucker in California.
Gonna buy up Holiday Woods. No, I don't know.
There was a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them.
A
Yeah.
bunch of them on there. Yeah.
So if we own them, could we take in all those lots and clean them up and change it and make it something else?
You guys can, you guys can take those. You'd have to take title to them. Right now, you just have the certificate in your name. You don't hold title to them yet.
Lien search, good notice,
Okay, thanks.
and then after the passage, it's 5 months, whatever it is, for if it's single, you would get a tax deed from the owner.
So if you guys want to review that list more, you don't want them all
I
off.
think I'd have to review this a little more.
You have to maintain them, that's always the issue.
Don't you take ownership of them?
Yeah, there would be a lot of expense incurred cleaning these lots up. But we could possibly change a little bit of the scenery out there in Holiday Woods if we would do that. Just a thought.
But this is still in a platted neighborhood, right? So you'd still be under the restrictions of that.
There's lots of restrictions, so do they have they pay maintenance, HOA fees or something over the years, they've got lawsuits over those.
Whatever it is, yeah, it's a hot mess out there for sure.
Yeah, it's a real mess.
Do you have a date for the commissioners or the
Yeah,
certificate sale?
it's in June.
I've had people ask me about it, so that's why I asked.
What date, Sarah? She's not saying it. It's in June,
Okay,
like the
that's,
middle of June right now.
okay.
Sarah's.
Yeah, you didn't put it on the paperwork.
What's the minimum bid number determined by?
That's up to you.
So
Well, it says minimum bid at sale, and then it has minimum bid approved by the commissioners.
What's the date of that, Sheriff's Town? Or not Sheriff's Town, I'm sorry.
So we set the minimum bid.
On a certificate sale, you set the minimum bid because you own the certificate. Traditionally, it's been $25.
Right.
You just turn.
Gotcha.
Yeah, these are all like listed at 100. There's one at 5,000.
It's been 100.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
on the regular tax sale, it's higher than, it's whatever the taxes due on it. But, in a certificate sale, you set, and you can set it different for each lot. It's been $100.
So. Yeah.
So I had her go through, the last time we did it, we set them at like $100 unless there was like a structure or something on there. So she went through and looked at whether there was houses, buildings, what was on each one of them. If it's $100, it's probably a vacant lot, nothing on it.
Yeah, the matter, I mean, they'll set the market will set what it's worth, and there'll be people, there's competitive bidding doing that.
So we set the prices on them. If you guys agree with them, okay. If you want them raised, we can do that too. Basically, what we're trying to do, you can see what the delinquent taxes are there to the left of them. Just trying to get them back on the tax roll. And then like Don said.
$69,000 in back taxes on the
Sewer lien.
Probably
sewer liens.
sewer liens on that one specifically. We did contact Steuben Lakes Regional Waste District and let them know and sent them a copy of the list. Because the majority of that is sewer liens and we have to write those off.
So is the minimum bid at sale, is that the lien?
That's what we're asking for. If more than one person wants to bid on it, they can bid more than that. That's what we're starting it at. So let's say the first one on the list, that little teeny tiny piece off of 327, $100. If it sells for $100, we write off everything else. So we're writing off $11,166.07.
But if they're on certificate sale, you gotta remember, they've been a regular tax sale for 2-3 times already, and nobody
wants them.
Nobody wants them.
Because they have to pay,
They'd have to pay the full.
or the minimum, what they owe.
Yes.
So a regular sale, they'd be paying what's over here on to the left of that $100.
Now the sewer lien, the sewer district does not have to agree with that, or?
What?
No, the
Release
sewer lien comes off. What doesn't come off is like, water and sewer liens for municipalities. If I recall correctly. It's a regular tax sale.
A regular tax sale?
It's a regular tax sale, like if they get a lien on it for water and sewer, municipality, But the certificate sale, everything comes off.
We pay, we do have to pay our tax sale attorney, and we do pay the overall sale price of the whole thing. We will owe SRI then 15% of the overall sale price. So the remainder of that money, basically then we put it on taxes. We just try to charge enough to at least kind of cover our expenses.
Otherwise, they just sit there and you never get any tax.
The majority of these have sat here for 10, 15.
Well, the old dump's always on there.
Huh?
Is the dump still on there?
Could be.
The old
No,
dump
I think
is,
that's gone.
oh, really?
Yeah, I do. That was over in Hamilton.
We didn't pull out any retention ponds, right, or anything like that, I think.
I told her to.
Thank you.
So we didn't pull
Yeah, we
those
don't want to
out.
be selling those. I see some listed for sale. Not this, but around the county.
Well, if they're in a subdivision, sometimes the property owner continues it. That's retention fund.
It'd be nice if if the association would, provide them and take ownership of them. But it's been a discussion we've been having with, Mayor Martin, especially specifically the ones in Angola. We're working on resolution to that. Yeah, we definitely want to make sure that those don't not, sold right now.
I can have Sarah come in here and ask her how long we have to get the resolution passed. If you guys want to sit down a little bit longer. I don't know what the date. We might still have plenty of time because they said, we hadn't had one in a long time, but the list is all based on, we don't have to do re-advertising with the courts. The judges don't have to sign anything off because it's based on our last tax sale, which was last October. So all those fees that were set then, as far as title search fees and attorney fees, those stay as set per that last tax sale. Which that doesn't have any bearing on you guys here for this. That's for the purchasers.
Peter, you ready for the motion?
Entertain a motion. Sounds like they've been floundering around long enough.
Yep. Should put these up for sale.
I'll second.
And further discussion.
Yes, you guys are approving the resolution number 203-2025-01, correct?
Motion is for approval of resolution 02-2025-01.
State that in the motion. Just did, you just reiterated.
I restated your motion.
Thank you.
I'll second the second then.
Okay. Hearing nothing further, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
That only requires the one reading, but they do have the certificate sales service addendum and agreement that does have to be signed, and this is just our agreement with SRI to perform the sale for us. I'm super excited to see how one online works. We haven't done one before.
The agreement with SRI to conduct the certificate sale.
Okay, I'll come down. Be down because.
SRI.
I will move to approve, that's all right.
I'll second. Didn't sign the wrong place on that one.
No. I got it.
I seen that.
Motion is second. Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Give those to Sarah.
Yes.
So yes, we're on to the judicial center. So,
It's gonna got me a little annoyed.
me too.
Okay.
Is he coming in?
Now. So it appears that in attorneys,
There's no people, it's just Karen.
second and third floors,
Okay, let me see, I think.
I got it right.
there's some damage being caused by chairs rolling back into the walls.
Right, and then, Caroline and Bill.
We need to install a chair rail, otherwise we're going to have damaged walls that need repaired continuously.
This, Acrobin 4,000 wall covering.
Yep.
See, that's acrylic.
It's something that's not supposed to show any type of marks.
Being out there before, right?
8 attorney rooms on the second and third floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly are already showing about 4 feet, aren't showing signs of abuse. Well, I call it abuse.
That's
Scuffs and excessive scuffs and gouges.
I have like,
Bet you it's crumbling.
but yeah, I'll get the page out to you today.
So an effort to try and keep the maintenance down on those, which will be continuous, it sounds like.
Actually, things here now, that, you know, but we may do that for
That's a lot of maintenance.
come back, I don't know.
But I think
Give me the rest of the week to think about it, okay?
aesthetically,
Because it'll get to the point where you're not able to patch them and repair and replace.
I don't either, but, you know.
not a fan of it, but I think it's necessary to
I'm
keep
not a
the,
fan of it either, but I think it's necessary myself.
I will move to approve.
Second, save Rick the grimace. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same.
Aye.
That'll come out of the bond fund.
Needed one.
There you go. There's your one.
What's that? No, I don't, I feel you. Ask me.
That's almost criminal. One for what they're charging to do it, and 2 for having to do it.
The official approval of integrity restoration construction invoice for the auditor's office. I think that should come out of her budget.
Yeah.
You guys already proved it out of yours. The
We
reason-
proved it out of yours.
I thought it was, didn't the auditor have a perpetuation fund?
We have a sales disclosure fund. The only reason it's actually come back is because, they had to move that drain line, so it was over the quote by $350. That's why we brought.
I was right in the middle of the road.
Really?
That wall, yeah.
Yep, they rerouted it.
Green line for a condenser. Oh, it's for a condenser
Condenser
unit.
unit?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes sense then. All right, is there a motion to pay that?
I'll move to approve.
Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Okay, approval of all of the Corson Fire Service contracts.
I looked at these and they sent them through with all the standard stuff that we objected to the last time.
Yep, and the contract length's 3 years.
Yeah, 1-year renewal, plus there's indemnity clauses in there, insurance clauses that I've objected to every time. But they sent through the same. My recommendation is we request the same adjustments.
You still have your letter from last year? You still have your letter from last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's up to you, I mean, it's your decision.
No, I think it needs to be adjusted to last year, right?
Yep, they just said it last year.
Yeah.
So let's send them back to them to say, you need to be back to 1 year, not an auto renewal. And we can take care of them. Unless one of you want it different than that.
Nope.
Or two of you. There's no pages for that.
So this one,
So we will table that until the next one.
shall automatically renew for 1
Okay,
year.
then we need an approval of the opioid restricted fund agreement through the Steuben County Community Foundation.
Yeah, I would drag our feet on that one pretty good. That is finally all drafted. And I had asked Ann for that dollar amount we were sending them. And we had it at one time. But one question I do have is how often do you want to send that money? Because it comes in randomly. It's never it's just
Quarter
I just do it once a year, maybe.
annual?
send them whenever you want.
Let's say just, how often, how many are we getting? Like 2 a year, 5 a year, 20 a year?
No, how, once, maybe twice on the opioid money? A
How
year?
often do we get
Yeah.
it?
2 to 3 times, probably.
Just do it once a year.
I mean, this first one's, because this is still that first one, so it's gonna be a pretty hefty chunk.
Right.
I just say what we could do is just, our first meeting in January or our last meeting of the year, whatever's in that fund, transfer this much to. You can just do a motion for that.
Yeah. The restricted.
So
It's all the restricted money.
It's all
Right.
just restricted.
It's
Right
just the
now,
restricted
we
money.
could approve the agreement, if so willing. And then right after that, we can immediately approve the transfer of
Whatever's in there.
whatever's in there. So is there a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement.
I'll say.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'd entertain a motion to,
I'll make a motion to transfer the restricted funds to the community foundation.
Full amount I'm sorry, I'll wait
Full
first. I'll wait on, okay.
They're giving us the full amount.
No, because I don't have it right now.
do we want to amend that to say annually in January or February? Or you want to just do this now and then?
Pay in December. That way, in January, if a new board comes on, they choose to do something different, they can. That'll be done at the end of the year.
Do you want to do that in the same motion or do you want to do it as a separate one? Motion and second to transfer the current ballots. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those the same. Okay, is there a motion to transfer annually in the month of December the balance of that fund?
Make a motion to, I will make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion?
Until, put in there until either we no longer receive those funds, or such time the Board of Commissioners revoke that.
Hope we need to put that in there. This contract, I think, is for the duration of the
I just say that they,
Continue to find a bunch of.
any future board can do that on their own.
Employee fund.
Yeah. If we need to, if we're gonna transfer it annually in December, do we need to put in any stipulations or ending if either the fund ends or the board of commissioners would like to end it? Just leave it as is.
I would leave it as is. Things change, things change.
If things change, they change.
Okay.
Okay, next item is the
Did we
contract.
I don't think you did.
All right, well, we can vote again.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Must have got ahead of myself. Attorney service agreement.
We thought Don needed a contract. We haven't had one since 2019.
We're in fine. Move to approve.
Second.
So you can terminate at any time, it's permitted, so.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
I didn't let him do it. I was curious on that. Andy?
Okay, and then purchase of a mailbox.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, send that
I
for.
should have said that.
In the courthouse.
I don't know that it had one, did it?
Didn't have one.
Listen.
Well, I thought it was a mailbox for the attorneys instead of the box for the attorneys.
No, this is the mailbox for the whole courthouse.
That will never get used.
Goes to the clerk.
Okay,
Some of it goes to the prosecutor's now.
Well,
Alright.
I will move to approve the purchase of a mailbox.
I will second.
That's out of the,
any further discussion?
The town bond.
yep, not.
That's what it's requested for. Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same, aye. That's a little added on there, if you couldn't tell. And then they are requesting the appointment of Bert Schultz to the Carnegie Public Library Board.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Do we need to approve this letter or just, this has to be notarized? So, and
Needs an official approval.
Is he still here?
Alex isn't here today.
Yeah, I passed
Or
it.
is it? No.
Yeah, but he might still be here. Tell me what's he. Yeah, see if he's still here.
Okay, motion to approve the letter of support for the Pokabachi Visionary Trail.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Approval of the administrative notification, would that be the proper way to put that? Or memo?
Remove the admin memo from January 13th.
Yeah, yes. To approve.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
And then the Schindler invoices from what?
Yeah, the ad. You remember?
Oh, this?
Yeah, if you want to call about it.
So this is the invoice where they installed the third elevator. The invoice was being sent to the clerk and they never passed it on. So finally they got a hold of Austin with the past due and the invoice that was never paid.
I am gonna send a memo out because this is like the third one from a department that, they were like deleting emails if they didn't pertain to them instead of maybe sending them to the auditor's office, so somebody could figure out where they were supposed to go. We had one from Larry's Muck and Safe. We had this one, and I thought there was a third one, but I can't remember who the third one was. So if you guys are okay with me sending an email out, I was gonna send that department-wide and not just one department, but yes. But yeah.
So this
they
is
would
actually
be-
part of the installation. It's not.
We've already paid
Maintenance.
for the other two.
Oh, this is our, basically a draw for the third elevator.
All right.
You know where you left.
So I should approve. Yeah, to approve.
So. Walk up them stairs.
Okay, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Anything else?
Yes, we need to, what is that letter? Basically, it'll be just for Kobachi for the broadband for Verizon for their grant. Did you not see that email? I don't know if Will was tight in on it.
Letter of support for,
Came from Mike from the EDC. Phone call from Mike Nelson regarding the application for broadband for Steuben County. He's requesting to see if there was a time they could meet. Everyone received a letter of support from the commission board. That was,
Broadband grant right there.
yeah. For, I think Frontier, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was, okay, I remember reading that. I'm like, who's Mike Nelson?
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't,
That's from Verizon?
Verizon is applying for the grant. The way I understand it, they would like a letter of support from us for the application for the grant. That's the way I read it.
I received a phone call from Mike Nelson for an application for broadband or something. But did you call him and talk to him or?
I have not. It was at,
Are you back? Did you forward copy to everybody on here? Okay.
can't find that.
huh?
I can't find that one. When did that come in?
Did you print it out?
31st of January.
There's another one, I think, with detail.
Didn't see a detailed one.
No.
She received a phone call from Mike Nelson regarding the application for broadband for Steuben County. He's requesting to see if there was a time that he could meet with everyone to receive a letter of support from the Commissioner Board. January 31st, Abby forwarded that to you.
Yeah, that's.
I have another one that
You
I
have
was reading the other day. It was basically saying what the
What he wanted.
grant was.
I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that one.
I didn't know who this Mike Nelson was.
Yeah, that's why I started looking at Mike Nelson.
It's works with Isaac.
Frontier?
No, he works with Isaac.
No, he didn't.
He does. Doesn't he? Oh, maybe not. I'm sorry.
That's Mike Lander.
Mike, that's what I'm thinking of.
Mike Nelson, he's at FTR.
He's got an FTR, so I'm assuming it's.
Yeah.
later.
But I thought it came from Mike Lander, the other email.
That was a business retention email.
Yeah.
Told him we'd be at conference, so we wouldn't be making that one. Yeah, but I didn't get any information with the original one.
You want Abby to schedule it?
Unless you need something done prior to that, then scheduling for the next meeting.
Yeah, it was, I'm sorry, but I remember reading it. It was due like the 14th, I think, or something. I could have sworn it came from.
Letter of support for the project or letter of support for Frontier?
A lot of support for broadband as for the grant, for them going after the grant.
With what we did today, I don't know that they would need a letter from us.
Well, it was asked, REMC's asked for them to when they expanded. Because they're going after grant funding for rural communities to provide them with funding to go expand their footprint.
The only thing that I just have to think about, broadband. When we did today, did that actually say retro back to the beginning of 24 on it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It was in the ordinance.
Can't remember whether it said it or not. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
I guess, yeah, get a hold of him, see if he might have a deadline that he needs to meet, but
See if
to
he will
change
forward
something
you
that we
this
can.
same information that he sent to Andy. That way he can get that to Will and to Rick also.
Was that my,
Suggestions? You guys still looking or thoughts, or would you like to know where Ann's suggestions are to pull the money from for prior?
Yes.
We usually have money in unused attorney fees. And lately, we've been doing good. We did increase it. Veteran burial allowance. We have room.
We had to add to that last year, though. It started out as 20, we had to take it to 40.
And we only used 20,500 last year.
Really?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, it
good,
was the
though.
year before.
It was the year
You're right.
before.
Was
Had
really
to
big.
add, yeah.
Yeah. So those are the two suggestions.
What was the first one?
Attorney fees.
Attorney fees.
Yeah, we budgeted 30 and we only used 9,000.
We need to take what, about 5 out of it?
Yeah, a little over 5.
Yeah.
That's probably the best place.
Unless you want to also take that other certification class. Unless you want to take a little bit more weight on that
Now
until you
we'll
find
wait on
out.
that, yeah.
Okay.
Wait and see if anybody's
Interested first.
participate.
It's coming out of Don's line item, right?
Yeah.
Attorney fees.
So he will be able to charge us as much done. Just
I didn't find it.
Oh, you did find
Yeah,
it?
he sent it to my, I
Charged for the work I do, I mean, the less work I do, the less I charge.
don't know why he addresses it to Commissioner Scheib, Commissioner Laughlin, but it says Frontier Communication plans to pursue a fiber broadband grant under the federal BEAD program. And the first round of funding will close on February 12th.
Okay. So he doesn't have time
It
between
was
now and then.
email. But it's a longer detailed.
Gonna say
What he's
where they're
asking.
expanding to and their
Yeah, he's got a map and everything else. But I guess reach out to him and see.
Well, he has to have it by the 12th, and we won't meet between now and then.
Frontier's plans. We are requesting a non-exclusive letter of support for our grant application. The draft is attached.
And it does show where they're going to expand in our county.
He has got a map and everything.
Just give any dollar amounts.
No. I just forwarded it to you, your one email.
I was just checking, he sent it to your campaign, what maybe he sent it to mine too.
Send it to your manager.
So here we are.
You took a once for all the commissioner signature, those are the official documents for the.
Oh, you're.
Our shed has been blocked.
Nope.
Some of it was blocked, so I had to unblock. Stuff didn't come up though.
So there's a map with it.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything in Angola, up to Holiday Woods, up to Flint. And up past Verity Missionary Church.
Map didn't come up.
Huh?
There's an image of the JPEG.
We have a letter that we could probably use. Same one we did for
AMC.
our EMC. Just put them address to it.
No reason why we wouldn't, right?
No, just that I don't see any downside to that.
Right. Well, he actually drafts a letter, or there isn't a letter in there.
Oh, he has one for you?
I think it orders, yeah.
Well, none of
Yeah.
the attachments came up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to find it, but I can't see where any of them came.
Andy,
Email
can
came
you
through.
forward that to Abby too?
Yep.
We can either copy the one from REMC, or if they have that, like you said, that drafted one, she can do that
Yeah,
one.
the draft one looks like it's,
And then send it to you guys, get your verbal approval and then
Yeah.
official approval.
Yeah.
The next meeting if you want.
Sounds good. It's, he needs it by next week, so.
That audio video equipment in the auditorium,
oh, yeah.
I did ask him to, while they're looking at that audio equipment, if there would be any reason to run extra wires if we want to look at video, whether, if they got to run extra wires, if they don't have to run wires. If they have to run wires, where they're running wires, if it makes sense to run it for video too.
Yeah, I get it. That room doesn't get used that much, so I hate to put a lot of money into it from that standpoint. But if we have meetings that have to be
Definitely need
done
that.
this way.
Yeah, definitely need the audio upgraded, because again,
It's audio upgraded, and if we have the video capabilities, I guess I wouldn't want to go through and run a bunch of audio wires and not run the video with it if it would make sense to do it at the same time.
there's stuff we can add to it.
Yeah, just as easy to run two together as one.
Same labor.
Yeah.
Just like when I'm digging a trench, if you want to throw one line in or two, I don't care. I'll see him dig a trench.
Anything else?
If you want to do these, you can get the money out to them. Jason just dropped off the contracts for all the volunteer fire departments that we do annually. And I'm sorry, the run counts. So if you wanted to approve their annual contract for the fire departments to work with the EMS department, and if you want to see what the run counts were, you already have that money budgeted. We just pay it out. Each department, fire department is supposed to turn in how many calls they want. Mhm. That is here also. You want to see those?
Each department gets $1,000. Excuse me, and then the remaining balance is divided with a percentage based on their assistance.
So I forwarded an email to,
You want to approve those real quick? So
Yeah. So Move to approve.
There's 8 fire departments.
8 contracts. Mutual aid. Payment.
Or we can stamp, you want your name stamped?
Second.
Okay, there's,
You seconding that, right?
Yes.
So Andy and Rick. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye. I got this email from DLGF. The affirmation of upload of local government contracts for fire and emergency medical services. Means they have to be uploaded to Gateway. You know about this, Kelly?
I think I saw that.
So the Department of Local Government Finance is issuing this memorandum to inform all political subdivisions of the process for affirming the upload of all contracts that are, 1, related to the provision of fire service or emergency medical services, or 2, entered into with another unit or entity that provides fire service or emergency medical service. Upload of these contracts is required by Indiana Code 5-14-3.8-3.5 D through F.
I think I printed that off.
You have that?
Yeah.
But these all have to be loaded to Gateway now. And I'm assuming that's these contracts here.
Mm-hmm.
I forwarded that to Enville's fire chief. Just so
I'm gonna try and meet with Dan tonight or tomorrow, just briefly. We'll set up a joint meeting with council for the ESA for NIPSCO so that we can properly advertise funding and execution of that all at the same time.
try to do it at their next meeting.
We don't have time to advertise by then. So it may end up being like either our next meeting beforehand or maybe the end of, we have to give, 10 business days, right? Or 10 published days. Or 7 published days, but
It's
still.
actually 7.
But they don't publish on Monday, so Monday doesn't count.
We try to stretch it 10 just to cover our rears.
So we're gonna have to do that out. I'll try and get a date set with him. We'll do it all once that way.
Unless we can twist the governor's arm hard enough tomorrow that we can.
Anything else right now? Okay. We'll recess until 2.
1:30, we got Jeff Stein coming in.
There's Jeff Lyons coming in, that's right.